more than 65,000 people join and happy, and the most exciting moment. In 1 second, we are everybody devastated. So in just 1 second, there is not activity all around the world. You can put in this kind of limits and above, up and downs in just terms. And the people cannot expect now it's over. And that's impossible. Always will remain in our hearts, because in the future will be with a small smile, but said, oh, it's a pity, but the performance we did. I saw the game, it was incredible, the well we played in these stages, in this level. And that is what it is. I don't want to see my players, it doesn't matter what happened Wednesday. I'd like to see them more at heart. It was a pity. We were at the end close, and with this, try to play tomorrow our game at 12:30 here in the Etihad Stadium.
So in terms of performance, you'd be absolutely delighted if they did exactly the same thing tomorrow.
Did you enjoy the game?
I thought it was fantastic. Yeah.
So that's good. That is important.
Well, it might be the important thing for neutral observers and for Tottenham fans if they enjoyed the game, but for Pep Guardiola, as much as he says it's about the way that the team plays, that's what he came for, to be a certain style of team. It's a bit disingenuous to pretend that they don't have to win stuff as well.
Yeah. I know, because we have seen that his teams are all conquering and are magnificent, mentally and physically. They're unbelievable football side. But I think that when this game in particular, I believe I can't understand how Kevin De Bruyne didn't start. He didn't start in the last one. No,
in the first leg. Yeah,
he didn't start in the first leg, which he
only brought him on for the last 2 minutes.
And he only brought him on for 2 minutes. And I just think that when you've got someone like Kevin De Bruyne, and like you saw in this last game, the impact he had. I think he had 3 assists in the game. You're thinking to yourself, I'm not understanding why he's not starting him. Same with Sane and Mahrez. It's something for me, them two probably start in my team, and I don't care what anyone says. I think that if De Bruyne starts against Spurs and Sane, I think they win, they get through the tie. I really, really do. And that's the only thing I'd say about him. And all the stuff he's saying about he's just pleased to be, he's here to win things. And we've seen that he's got an amazing brand of football, which we all love, but he's only going to get judged on what he wins here. And the Champions League's something that he has to win for a different club.
It's not going to happen for Manchester City this season, so all the focus very much is on the league now for Pep Guardiola. And this atmosphere that he creates, which is about trying to achieve perfection, making the players feel that they're invincible, almost. Does that cause issues when things go wrong for them, do you think?
Maybe, and maybe... I mean, I think despite what he said there, from everything you hear from everyone around City, and everyone knows Guardiola is, he's obsessed with winning the Champions League because he realises, it's ultimately what it comes down to, his legacy. And also, personally, I do wonder, having grown up as a Barcelona fan at a time when that club, amazing for such a massive club, couldn't win a Champions League, and he would have witnessed so many kind of harrowing experiences they had in it. I do wonder whether that feeds into it as well. So I think he does have a bit of a complex about the competition. And even I heard from some of the City players, apparently, before the first leg, said they'd never seen Guardiola as tense as that, because he was so wrapped up in the game.
But the thing is, Kels, you've got to look at it, that whatever he does in this country, and wherever he goes after this, he went to Germany, he didn't do it, he's come here, he hasn't done it with City yet. In respects of the Champions League and the fact that he won it with arguably one of the greatest football sides ever, assembled with Messi and Xavi and Iniesta and all those great players that he had. You have to say that people will then point their finger at him in that respect. Well, if you gave that Barcelona team to Pochettino or Mourinho or whoever, they could probably do that. And so this is where you have to look at Pep and say that that's what's probably going to be levelled at him in respects of accusations towards him as to winning it with someone else. And when you mention that, Mig, it's a great point, that there seems to be, with the Champions League and with him, it's something that he's really desperate for. Because he's talking about, well, no, that's not what I'm here for, really.
Would he have, for the team for the first leg, would he have picked that team in any other match? I don't think he'd have done it in the league game. And also, I mean, even the fact that against Spurs in the league, they've had such a good record. So why was he suddenly getting wrapped up about Spurs' strengths rather than his own team's strengths?
And then the thing as well, Kels, your Spurs, first thing you look at when the team sheet comes out, I remember, you always look at the team sheet, see who's on there. And when they've got their best like De Bruyne, if I'm in the Spurs dressing room and I don't see De Bruyne on there, and Sane not so much because he hasn't played so many games this season, I don't see De Bruyne and I don't see Sane on there, that makes me feel a little bit better, simply because you know that Sane can turn it on, and you know that De Bruyne will turn it on. So I think he handed the initiative over to him.
So what does he do then for this game against Tottenham in the league?
Well, to be honest, he's just going to probably just put... I'd be surprised if De Bruyne doesn't play. I'd be surprised if...
That was one of the things said, actually, one of the kind of leakings that came out, that he was kind of making a calculated decision to rest De Bruyne for that game, so he'd be fit for the second two, which he saw as more important.
Well,
which is
like
he says he can't play 3 games in a week, didn't he? About Kevin De Bruyne, as he continues to sort of recover from...
Yeah, but then for me, if that's the case, then, Kels, I'm going to save him for the Champions League games.